All right. Chapter 3. Things are going places. We've been rescued by mysterious hunter. I don't know, it's probably a little hot for that, but okay. I guess it's good food. So you saved my ass out there in the wilderness.
ひどい凍傷だ。まだ動かん方がいい。下手に動くと凍傷部位の組織を傷つけてしまう恐れがある。しばらく安静にしていることだ。
ババはもう一人男がおらんかったか。探しに行かな。
わからん男だな。死ぬぞ。
仲間が死にかけてるっちゅうのに寝てられへん。
おとなしくしていろというのがわからないのか。素人が雪山に行っても二重遭難するだけだ。面倒事は困る。その馬場という男は私が探しに行く。
あんた今面倒事は困る言うてやないか。
山にいるヒグマが人間の味を覚えてしまうと厄介なことになる。人の肉を求めて人里まで狩りに出てくる可能性もあるからな。
なんやと。
おそらくあんたを襲ったのは通常の倍ほどの大きさのクマだ。そうだろう。
確かに相当でかいクマやったが、ほんまにあのクマが人を食うんか。
いや、昔そういう噂もあったということだ。どちらにしてもあんたの仲間がクマの餌になる前に助け出さないと俺が迷惑する。そういうことだ。あんたがここを出ていくのは構わない。だが死ぬならせめてクマの餌にならないところで死んでくれ。そこに着替えを用意してある。古着で悪いが好きに使うといい。
まだ助けてもろた礼を言うとらんかったな。俺は冴島や。あんたのおかげで死なずに済んだ。おおきに。
俺は奥寺だ。
You have access to a hideout. Chill out. Wait. Oh, we're in a whole ass village. I thought it was just a hut somewhere. I would have thought there'd be a village this deep in the mountains. Damn. It's morning already. How long was I out? What happened to don't move because you have frostbite? Look at me go! Whee! Alright, we're undercommitted to... It's almost like they keep introducing narrative elements that are counter to the idea of what the game wants to be.
あんただな。今朝この集落に担ぎ込まれたって人はちょっと聞きたいことがあるんだが。
あんたは
西名というこの集落で暮らしてるマタギの代表みたいなもんだ。
マタギって漁師っちゅうことか。
ああ、もう最近じゃマタギなんて言葉知らない者も多いだろうがな。ここは昭和の前からマタギを生業とし生活している連中の古い集落なんだ。
それで俺に聞きたいことっちゅうのは。
ああ、それなんだが、また新入りがやらかすんじゃないかと思ってな。
新入りって誰や？
奥寺だよ。あんたを担ぎ込んできた
奥寺藩が新入り？
ああ、あんたは知らんのかもしれないが、奥寺ってやつはこの集落に突然やってきた流れ者だ。10年ぐらい前に遭難しているところをこの集落の漁師に助けられ、それ以来マタギの真似事をやってる。俺ら土着のマタギは迷惑してるんだ。
で、あんたは奥寺藩の何を気にしとるんや？
いや、奥寺が今朝また山に入ったって言うんでな。もしかしたら化け物が出たんじゃないかと。
化け物？
山おろしって言われる巨大な人食い熊だ。普通の熊の倍くらいの大きさがある。
それでもしかして俺を襲うた熊のことか？
何？あんたは山おろしに襲われたのか？
熊が山おろしなんかどうかは分からんが、おそらくな。
奥寺はそのこと知ってるのか？
当然や。
じゃあやっぱりそれでこうしちゃいられない。急いで仲間に連絡しないと。
急にどうしたんや一体？
あんたも命が欲しいなら今すぐ家に戻って戸締まりすることだ。間違っても奥寺のことを追いかけたりするんじゃないぞ。いいな。
Well, now it's time to do exactly that. Must have been some trouble here. Well, didn't have time to read all that. Is this how Saejima was dressed at the beginning of the game? Were that guy's old rags exactly what he looks like? That's really funny. But yeah, the game's like, oh, you're in prison. Just kidding, here's imaginary open world segments. Ah, you have frostbite. Just kidding, you can run around. Like, it's because like, they keep introducing narrative elements that might make sense narratively, but then they're like, well, hang on a minute, we gotta immediately revert back to the identity of these games. You can't go wandering off from that. This is interesting. There's all these maps. Now, I'm trying to remember, I think... I could be wrong. I think I remember hearing that, Yakuza 5 is like a multiple disc game. I can probably Google this real quick. Yakuza 5 multiple discs. Lots of typing. Oh. Why didn't Sega ever release a Western physical copy of Yakuza 5? Yeah, that's gonna eat up all of my search results. Okay, never mind. I forgot about this. Yakuza 5 never got released in the West as a physical game. You could only buy it digitally, which, from my perspective, really don't care, since around this time was when I stopped buying physical copies of games for the most part. I do have some PS4 games and like 2 Xbox One games maybe that are physical, but I pretty much stopped like 6 or 8 years ago. Pretty much I started buying everything digitally around like 2015, 2016 or something. At some point it was just easier, and at some point you're just like, who cares? The concept of a physical copy is so nonsensical. Like, you're so consistently like installing from the disc, or there's a fucking 20 gigabyte patch on day one. So like the idea that you can like own a permanent copy of the game is so out there, because so many games require massive day one patches to run anyway, and it's just like, just screw it, just download the game. And you can even pre-download the game from the comfort of your home with like one click, and then it's like ready to unlock at 9 p.m. the night before and so on, if you even are playing launch games, which I almost never get around to doing exactly. But it just seems kind of irrelevant. Yeah, like, it's just, who cares? Like, I do buy physical copies of PS2 games and older, and I still value that idea, because I'll be like, oh yeah, I got a copy of this game, and I can hold on to that, and I can play it if I need to, and so on, and I have like a shelf of that stuff. But modern games, you just can't. The version that is on a disc just is incomplete, and oftentimes non-functioning or so on. So reliant on day one patches or DLC and updates and other stuff that, like, it's just not worth it anymore. And in many cases, it feels like those games very, very easily could stop working just as much as the digital ones do one day. I don't know. Modern games are a little worrying in that way. But anyway, I felt like I vaguely heard that this might be a multi-disc game, but it's going to be really hard to look up on the fly on my phone, because all the opinions are about the fact that if you're somebody who collects, if you're collecting the franchise as physical copies on your shelf, then this game never had a fucking physical disc release. To the point where when they made the Yakuza Remastered Collector's Edition for the PS4 or 5 or whatever, and so on, they literally sold it with an empty copy of Yakuza 5. Like, just a box to put on your shelf with the other Yakuza games, so that you can be like, oh yeah, I finally have Yakuza 5 to complete my series. Like, I think it even is, like, as goofy as this gets, I think it might even be a PS3 box for Yakuza 5, despite it being a, like, despite the whole thing being like a Yakuza, I think it's a PS4 Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 remastered box set thing. And by box set, I mean I think they basically all just fit on one disc or a couple discs or something. I think Yakuza 3, 4, 5 just comes in one box as like a PS4 game, but it comes with a PS3 copy of Yakuza 5, but only a box, just so you can finally complete your shelf, because they know that if they're making a collector's edition, that they need to sate the long brewing anger of people who have this ongoing grudge about not being able to collect a copy of Yakuza 5 for all these years. It's very funny to me. I also was specifically emailed being told that I was going to get a copy of Yakuza 3, 4, 5 Remastered, and then it just never arrived. And to the point where, like, I was convinced it was going to still come, and it must be late or something. So I bought a copy of Yakuza 3 originally, just on its own, and not the bundle set, because I'm like, well, it'd be a waste to buy the whole set, because I got this remastered edition coming. They even told me. It just never arrived in my P.O. box. I have no idea where they sent it, or if they ever did. Who knows? Consistently, the people who say they're going to send me something to my P.O. box it never arrives. Then other stuff arrives instead from people who never said they were sending stuff to my P.O. box. They keep me guessing like that. But at this point, I guess it was good to not buy it, because I went on to put the games on PC. So now I've played 4 and 5 on PC anyway, so it would have been a waste to buy the full set on PS4, because I avoid using consoles until I absolutely have to. It's just a pain in the ass usually. Even greater ease. Yeah, he seems like a grappler. It seems useful to have the grapple points. So hello, new world again. So Saejima introduces 2 little hub worlds. They're pretty small, but having unique environments at all is pretty unusual. Although I guess in a way that is what the sewers were and other places like that. We're just, hey, a little surprise environment all of a sudden. Hey, are you the guy staying with Okudera? Yeah, he found me on the mountain last night. I was real lost. Yeah. Dang, that must have sucked. Tell me, does everyone here have something against Okudera-han? Heck yeah, the village went through all kinds of shit because of him. What happened? Yeah. Well, nothing that concerns you. Look, I'll be honest with you. You probably shouldn't get too involved with Okudera. Well, he's hosting me. He seems nice enough. He fed me. And apparently it was good food. And now he's out to save my friend, who probably is dead, because it's morning already. I don't know how late that evening started, but it's probably been a while, so he must have been saved by someone else, or found some other shelter. Maybe the bear thought he was his cub and was protecting him from me. You're that guy staying with Okudera-san, right? Yeah. Why'd you come up to the mountains? You don't look like you came to hunt. Nobody in the village has seen you before either. I usually hunt in a different area. No kidding. Well, the road is snowed over, so you're stuck here for a while. We don't have a TV, there's no radio reception, and we don't get newspapers. You'll probably be bored out of your skull, but just sit tight. Okay, got it. No TV or newspapers, huh? Lucky for me, the prison break's probably all over the news. So, someone in the Tojo Clan is obsessed about Kiryu and Saejima in their big power grab. But they won't just, like, organize a hit? Like, so many people knew exactly where Kiryu was, and nobody was just like, I know, I'll shoot him. Or any other thing. And, like, that one asshole with the scar, he bizarrely did ask Baba to kill me in my sleep, apparently. But aside from that, his entire MO is to apparently fixate on, not killing Saejima, but just keeping him in prison for longer, and that was his only plan. And it's just like, alright, I know somebody doesn't want Kiryu and Saejima in the picture, but I'm like, you keep refusing to just kill them, and that seems like it's often the easiest choice.
あんた、冴島さんだね。
なんで俺の名前を？
奥寺さんに頼まれててな。もし2メートル近い大男が集落から出て行こうとしたら、そいつを止めてくれってな。多分9年前の悲劇を繰り返したくないんだろうよ。
9年前の悲劇ってなんやそれ？
山おろしに襲われたんだよ、この集落がな。
山おろしって例の巨大熊にか？
ああ。当時奥寺さんには同じ家に住んでいたパートナーの佐藤という漁師がいてな。その佐藤が山おろしを追って逆に山おろしにこの集落を襲わせる原因を作っちまったのさ。
なんやと
？9年前のある日、佐藤は山おろしの噂を聞きつけ、単身狩りに出て行っちまった。そう、あの日も吹雪いていた日だったな。
それでどうなったんや？
狩りは失敗。佐藤は行方不明。後を追いかけた奥寺さんも重傷を負った。そして悲劇は起こった。
この集落が襲われたんやな。
ああ、不幸中の幸いというべきか。死者こそ出なかったが、
家屋という家屋は壊され、備蓄していた食料は全て山おろしに食い尽くされることになった。この集落で生きるマタギにとっちゃ、冬は恐怖との戦いでな。1年かけて蓄えた食料を失うことは死を意味する。ほんとあの年の冬は生きるか死ぬかの瀬戸際だったよ。
そないなことが。
それ以来だ。奥寺さんがこの集落から孤立するようになったのは、毎年冬になると山おろしのことを追いかけて吹雪の強い日に狩りに出かける。他の漁師の都合なんてお構いなし。もしかしたら奥寺さんは山おろしを追いながら9年前の復讐を果たそうとしているのかもしれないな。
それやったら今日も。
いや、今日は野暮用があると言っていたな。山おろしの餌を探さなきゃならんとか言っていたが。まあいろいろと余計なことを話しちまったが、あんたが雪山に向かっても足手まといになるだけだ。ここは素直に家に戻ってもらえねえか。
I gotta go up there.
いや、放ってはおけん。奥寺藩は俺の命の恩人や。それに俺も仲間を一人雪山に残してきたままなんや。
なるほどな。聞いてた通りの男だな。奥寺さんからもう一つ言われてたんだ。多分あの男は止めても効かない。ならせめて雪山に裸で飛び込まないよう指導してやってくれとな。
なんやと？奥寺藩が？
ああ、何の予備知識もなしに突っ込んでいくよりはマシだろうってことだ。
で、まずは何から準備したらいいんや。
まずは服装だが、あんたは狩りに行くわけじゃない。防寒着としてはとりあえず今の格好でいいだろ
う。なるほどな。
となるとあとは2つ。万が一の時のための食料、それに地図だ。
どうやって手に入れたらええ？
地図は俺が用意する。問題は食料だ。どこの家も自分のとこで食うのに精一杯だからな。
そらそうやろな。
俺が地図を書き上げるまでの間、自分の力で当座の食料を確保してきたらどうだ。事情を話せば分けてくれる人間もいるかもしれない。
分かった。なんとかする。
I just had the thought. I'm a little worried. How many? What? What the fuck? Saejima has 15 sub-stories? That's almost as much as Kiryu. Even though his storyline is so dedicated to these like story-heavy locations where there aren't really places for sub-stories. Granted, I already did 2 of them. That little dojo part was a 2-parter somehow. But that's nuts. Like that, we're probably gonna get to Kamurocho in like chapter 4, and then suddenly it's like, here's 13 sub-stories, and then we just take a long vacation from the story while I do all of them in a row. Because we're in chapter 3, right? I think, yeah. Part 2, chapter 3, and we're still here. And I don't mind the idea of there being a character that just has like a story-based campaign, but it's very goofy for him to then have all of it, still have a bunch of sub-stories when he gets there. Oh yeah, and I looked it up, and I have very inconclusive results. This one thing says that bears tend to live 10 to 20 years. There's another thing that says giant pandas live 20 years, but brown bears live 20 to 30 years. I don't know exactly what kind of bear that was. Grizzly bears apparently live 20 to 25 years. The average lifespan of a black bear is 10 years, but they can live upwards of 30 years in the wild. What is a bear death moan? The death moan is just the result of air exiting the lungs when they die. Jeez. Are bears friendly? These suggested things. They are not mean or malicious. Bears are normally shy, retiring animals that have very little desire to interact with humans unless they are forced to be around humans to be near a food source. They usually choose to avoid us. That's what I figured. But I was trying to Google it just because I wanted to know, like, how reasonable is it that there was a bear that attacked the village 10 years ago and is still around now? And I guess it's possible. Their average lifespan would place them, their birth as then and their death now, but they can live 20, 30 years, so it's just, I guess he is. Especially since he's like a super bear. All these damned blizzards have closed down the road. We're cut off from the rest of the world right now. We can't get into the town to buy food. We can't hunt any more game because the bears are killing them all. Don't know why the bears aren't hibernating as much this winter. Yeah. Also, he's like, yeah, I guess your getup right now is actually enough to go in the cold. Go ahead, Saejima. It's like, it's convenient that his usual getup is snow-worthy, but fucking zip that jacket up, bro. What are you doing? That's just a t-shirt. See how cold it looks around here? I guess we can't go that way. Oh, that looks weird. The backs of his jacket are tied to his backs of his legs. You gotta zip that jacket. You're wearing a t-shirt. Looks like there's another house up here.
もしかしてあなたが山おろしを見たっていう？
ああ、そやが、あんたは？
私は仁科の妻、仁科君代です。
仁科？ああ。この集落の代表をしとるマタギのおやっさんの。
まさか山に入るおつもりですか？
いや、そういうわけやないんやが。
もしかして食料をお探しじゃないんですか？
なんでそう思うんや。
9年前のあの日を思い出したんです。今のあなたと同じように奥寺さん食料を探し求めていたから。
どういうことや。
すでに聞いているかもしれませんが、9年前奥寺さんは友人の漁師さんを追いかけて山へと入っていきました。でもあの日は数メートル先も見えないような吹雪の日。食料もなしに山に飛び込むのは自殺行為とも言えることでした。
それで奥寺藩は食料を探してたんか。
ええ、集落を一軒一軒回って頭を下げて、でも誰も流れ者の彼に食料を分けようとはしませんでした。主人はよそ者を助ける必要はないと言ったのですが、私はどうしても不憫に思えて。
あんたが食料を用立てたと。
ええ、きっとそうしないと後悔すると思って。
これは
鹿の肉です。今はこれしかありませんが、持って行ってください。
せやけど旦那はんに見つかったらあんたも。
大丈夫です。主人には見つからないようにします。
恩に着る。
その代わりと言ってはなんですが、お願いがあります。
なんや。
奥寺さんがどうしてあの熊にこだわり続けるのか、その理由を解き明かしてもらえませんか？
なんでそないなことを知りたいんや。
9年前のあの事件以来、この集落はおかしくなってしまいました。それまで助け合いながら生きてきた集落のみんなが他人を疑いながら生きるようになってしまって、きっとみんなあの日の恐怖を忘れられないんです。だからそのストレスを奥寺さん一人にぶつけるようになってしまったんだと思います。
そういうことやったんか。
めったに他人に心を開かない奥寺さんがあなたには心を開いている。きっとあなたなら 奥寺さんの心の闇を晴らせることができるはずです。どうかこの集落に住み着いた9年前の悪夢から私たちを解放してください。お願いします。
分かった。俺に何ができるかは分からんが、この恩に応えられるようできる限りのことはする。
お気をつけて。
This is so odd. It's just like it's like the thing that happened 9 years ago is like nothing else has happened in the decades since. I guess just not much happens around here. I don't know. Yeah, isn't that when he joined the community? So he just joined the community, and it's been a cloud over the community ever since because it led to what he did led to the bear attack, where nobody died, but everyone was short on food. And I can see why having a really hard winter where everyone was starved for food would lead to a situation where people were more selfish and less willing to share because they're all trying to take care of themselves and their families and whatnot. Things get a little pathologic up in here. But if everybody hates him so much, how does he even manage to stay here? And like, how does he even get along with this community? And like, because you think that they still would have to depend on each other in some way to survive. It feels so strange to think that what is even over here? It feels strange to find out that everybody here resents him apparently, but he's just still just hanging out forever. What is this square for? Huh. I guess it's used for something at some point. I wonder why it has to be its own map and not just seamless. Hey, did you manage to find some food? Yeah. Someone was kind enough to share. Good. I have to confess I actually had some I could have shared with you, but I wanted to see if you were determined enough to scrounge some up yourself. Wow, I walked over there and asked one person. It was a good test. Huh, so you were testing me?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But at least now I know that you're the real deal. What? Glad I passed. You got the map ready? Sure do. I only drew the basic geography of the place, but it's enough to keep you from getting lost. Challenge accepted. We're in a big, infinite expanse of snow. There are very few features. Stick to the mountains, trailhead today. That's plenty to start with. You think Okudera Han's around there? Yeah, probably. I don't think he'd go further than that. Not without a good reason, anyway. It's nothing. Like I said, the trailhead area should be enough for you today. The rest of the maps, just in case you come back some other time. What? I only drew the basics you need for today. Anyway, here's a bunch of other details I also included for later. I recommend you add your own notes, like about landmarks and stuff. There's no better guide than the one you make yourself. Good point. First things first, look here on the map. That's the trailhead closest to the village. That's where you start ascending. And you should take that path when you're coming back as well. The winding blue line is Mato River. Just work your way up along it, and you won't get lost. Yeah, definitely stay near the river for now. Got it. Appreciate all you've done, Sakurai-han. Well, I definitely can't do anything more. So, are you planning to leave now? Or do you need time to get ready? I'm ready to go. Okay. Be careful out there, Saejima. Whatever you do, stay near the river. This hole is quite the change of pace. Save Baba! If only he could tell us where to go, but he doesn't know. He's just kind of guessing where Okudera is, because like we know where Okudera might be, because he hopefully knows where he found us, and Baba's near there. It would have helped for us to communicate the fact that he fell off the vehicle like right before we ended up where we were, so he's uphill. It's very lucky for us that we happened to go down the mountain directly towards a village, because we were on that vehicle for a long time, and that was just an infinite expanse of lifeless nothing. And we landed just in the right place. Oh, look at that ice on my neck. Well, this is distressing to look at. This cold is brutal. Even my bones feel frozen. Gotta hurry before I lose too much strength. Close your jacket, Saejima. What the fuck? Restore it by eating food. If your health gets low, open the menus. Gotta stick to the river for now. Gotta meet up with Okudera-han. You are totally just out here to become a new... Like, I know that he's probably gonna face off against the bear or something, but like... It definitely feels like he's just out here becoming a problem. It's like the idea of like how you shouldn't try to save somebody from drowning if you don't know how, because then you're just gonna get drowned too. And become another, you just kind of become an additional problem. Or like if you don't know how to do CPR, you'll probably do more harm than good. It's like you probably shouldn't untrained go out in the wilderness to save somebody when somebody else who actually knows what they're doing is already doing the thing. Because you can just become the next problem for them to deal with now. But also, if these elements are this dangerous, Baba's dead already. Bear tracks. Pretty close to the village. Are you insisting I should follow these tracks? Tracks are a good way to get lost because they go away. What is that? What? A character doesn't want to stand near it. Ruh-roh. Blood. Was there a bear attack? A blood trail. Better follow it. Well, there's no other tracks, or any scuffs, or pockets, or pits, or any sign of any other person being around. It's like the bear just started bleeding. Already pretty high in altitude. Where are you, Baba? Do I leave footprints? I do. Can we follow them back, or do they go away? Did I really find him this fast? Oh, shit. He's not good.
Mama-chan! Okudera-han!
何しに来た？
ババを助けに来たんや。あんた一人に任せておけるわけないからな。あんたも怪我しとるやないか。まさか山おろしにやられたんか。
うかつだった。俺も老いてしまったようだな。それよりその男を頼む。
分かった。
怪我はひどいがまだ息はある。すぐに集落まで運ぼう。
ああ。
早速血の匂いを嗅ぎつけてきやがったな。すぐにここにやってくるぞ。しくじったか。俺は奴を追う。お前はその男を早く集落に連れて帰るんだ。
せやけどあんたもその傷。
余計な心配は無用だ。もたもたするな。一刻を争うぞ。
分かった。
It's been a while. The sun's setting too. I'm getting worried. Hope he's safe.
奥寺藩無事やったか。
ああ、なんとかな。発見が遅かった分あんたより重傷だ。だが無茶をさせなければ大丈夫。しばらく安静にさせておけ。
ああ。そういえばあのヒグマをどないしたんや。 仕留めたんか。
いや、吹雪が強くなってきてな。あれ以上深追いしたら戻ってこれない状態だった。
そうか。集落の人に聞いたんやけど、あんた山おろしのこととなると人変わるらしいな。山おろしカルンに人生かけとるって話やけど、なんか理由でもあるんか。
狩りってのはな、生きるためにすること、人間の生存本能なんだ。俺たち人間は何千年も前から動物を殺し、その肉を食べて生きてきた。この鍋の肉もそう。俺が飼った動物の肉だ。食べるために殺し、殺したから責任を持って食べ尽くす。それが狩猟だ。だが俺にとってあのヒグマは狩るのが目的じゃない。
ほな、なんなんや。
ただの殺戮。俺はあのヒグマを殺すために追いかけているんだ。思えば人間というのは不思議な生き物だ。憎いという理由で人を簡単に殺す。自分が生きるために仕方なくというわけじゃない。だからこそそれは罪として裁かれるべきことだし、それを償うために刑務所があるんだ。だが人を殺したことを悔い改め刑務所を出ていく人間はごくわずかだ。ほとんどのやつは自分がやったことは仕方がないことだと割り切り開き直って生きている。殺すというのは食べるための、そして身を守るための殺し以外、全てが勝手なものでしかない。殺人者が何を言おうとただの詭弁に過ぎないということだ。
あんた、俺が刑務所出てきたこと知っとって説教してんのか。それが自分の過去話してるんか。どっち？
どっちでもない。ただ俺があのヒグマにこだわるのは個人的な恨みがあるからだ。つまり俺はただの殺しをするためだけにここにいるという話だな。さあ話は終わりだ。殺した者として責任を持ってこの肉を食ってやろうじゃないか。
ああ。ババ、
兄貴、
お前もう動いて平気なんか。
ええ、なんとか。
そうか。
すいません兄貴、足引っ張るようなことになってしまって。
俺のことはええ。それよりお前を助けてくれた人に礼を言うんやな。
そうなんですか。一体誰に？
奥寺藩中漁師のおっちゃんや。ここは山の中にある漁師の集落や。
そうだったんですか。
まだ完全に回復しとらん。あんまり喋らん方がええ。今はゆっくり休み。
はい。迷惑かけてすんません。
ちょっと待ってろや。奥寺藩にお前が目覚ましたことを伝えに行かな。
All right, we're back to it. Yeah, they maybe could have spared the expense to make an alternate costume where he closes his jacket. Oh well. They just went through all the effort of making all these maps. Let me know, survivalists. Does any of this make any sense at all? I get the feeling it doesn't. If we were bad enough to be frostbitten and we're a larger person, then a smaller person being out there for even longer on their own just kind of, I guess, unconscious and abandoned or something. Like, I'm like, how is he alive? How is he alive? I was fully expecting to find evidence that Baba, like, did some actual survivalism for a bit. Like he found a little cave and had, like, managed to, like, start a fire or something and was just kind of, like, stranded in the storm or something to justify how he was still alive. The idea that he was just laying there the whole time and the bear never found him, and also he survived despite being smaller and in the cold for hours longer. I'm like, I don't know about this, man. I don't know if I can accept that. But I have to. It's whatever. It's Yakuza. It's goofy. What are you doing with that shovel? Huh? Oh, I was going to dig up some meat I buried here last fall. You buried some meat? Yes, the ground axe is a natural freezer, so the meat can stay there all winter without spoiling. We store food this way for emergencies. Alright. So if you're digging it up, does that mean there's an emergency? I suppose you could call it that. So she shared food with me when they're already running low. Is your husband out hunting? Saw some deer on the mountain yesterday. No, because Okudera-san left on a hunt this morning. While he's out there, none of the others will go. Why is that? They say that Yamaoroshi is more likely to attack when Okudera-san's scent is in the air. Just like that day 9 years ago. So your husband stays at home, afraid to hunt, and then makes you come out here and dig up meat? Huh? Oh, no. It's not like that. I just thought today was a good day to do this. I also don't like the tone there. It's the husband's making the woman do things? Ugh. She's not supposed to do things. Oh, here it is. This meat from last fall has more fat on it than the meat hunted other times of the year. Interesting. Here, for you. Ah? Why for me? You're going after Okudera-san again, aren't you? Sure, might be, but... Well, better safe than sorry. But... And you needed this food? Yes, but I can't turn my back on someone determined to go to the mountain in this blizzard. If it makes you feel any better about it, come back and share food with me if you happen to gather any while you're on the mountain. I will. That's a promise. In the past, we all used to help each other out like this. That's the kind of village I remember, at least. Please, be careful out there. You got deer meat. Okay. Is it preserved? I don't mean like frozen, I mean like... Did they make jerky or some other... Like, did they dry it first? I'm just wondering about what state it's in. Like, is it safe to eat? Is it cooked? Because I feel like it's not, so I feel like I can't necessarily eat it. Right? I don't know. The state of this meat. Ambiguous deer meat. I think I'm going into the wild. You're going after Okudera-san, aren't you? Yeah. But also, I'm gonna start hunting on my own. Wow, really? Nishina's wife was kind enough to share some food. I'm gonna repay her by catching some wild game. Good luck. Hey, if you want to be helpful, you got a gun I can borrow? Ha! Before that, there's your clothes to deal with. You can't hunt wearing that. Every animal's gonna see you from a mile away. Well, what should I do? I might have something in storage, if you don't mind it being old. You won't look stylish, that's for sure. That don't matter. Be great if I could borrow it. Sure. That just leaves the gun. You got anything?
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to help you, I only have one rifle, and I'm a hunter. We never allow ourselves to be without a gun. Okay. I seem to remember Nishina-san having an extra one, though. That's so. But who knows if he'd let you borrow it? His wife would be okay with it. But as for him, well, he's not on great terms with Okudera-san right now. Only one way to find out. True. Go ask him. And in the meantime, I'll look for the clothes. Got it. I feel like the creator of Yakuza, the lead dude, I think he like gets obsessed with particular subcultures or interesting little things, and then those just become the thing he incorporates in the next game over and over again. Like he's one of those people, some of the people that writes that kind of way, which makes a fair bit of sense. That's how you end up being like Dan Brown really wants to write about this specific setting. He wants to specifically talk about Rome or this and that and so on. This whole fucking book's gonna be about this thing he researched all month. But you have like the obsession with like pocket racing or this other thing, and then this other game has this obsession, and then suddenly it's like we've talked about this particular subculture's problems or what they have to deal with or their strife. And we talked about cabarets a whole lot and so on, and then now it's like, all right, I got really interested in Japanese hunters this particular year, so the game's gonna have an entire chapter set in a Japanese hunting village. Like it has like really specific details about like them storing food and so on. More trouble. Damn that Okudera. Honey. Sorry to intrude, but I got a favor to ask. You're still here? Didn't I tell you to get lost? Honey, really? What did you want? If it's food, we're already short. Find your own. I know you are. That's why I want to borrow a gun. Huh? I know I'm an outsider, but I feel indebted to Okudera-han for saving me. And also to you and your wife. I owe something to the whole village, really. So? I also know I'm an amateur, but I just can't take being a burden on you any longer. Please, let me hunt. At the same time, I can protect Okudera-han from Yamaoroshi. Please. Forget it. Darling. The mountain's a far harsher place than you realize, Saejima. Even veteran hunters lose their way in a storm like this. I'm not going to... See? You don't get it. Your ego is just huge. If our best trackers have gotten lost chasing quarry into the wild, what makes you think you can do it? I have a very long golden thread from this lady that... I do know the dangers, Nishina. It's just... You might know them, but you don't understand them. How could you? You weren't here 9 years ago. Forget about borrowing a gun. Go home and wait for your buddy Okudera to come back from his wild goose chase. I'm so sorry. Don't be. It's my fault for not thinking this out. He's just afraid of what happened 9 years ago will happen again. Yeah. When Yamaoroshi attacked the village. It's not just that. What scares us most is the possibility of death. But Sakurai-han said no one died 9 years ago. Well, that's... What are you prattling about? For goodness sake. We don't tell outsiders anything. Saejima, if you have no business here, then scram. Our lives are hard enough without you bothering us. Well, he's exhausting. It's a really segmented map, isn't it? How did it go? Did he lend you a gun? Nah. Got turned down. Thought so. Honestly, you should just give up, but since I know you won't... Well... You should not be giving him your gun. I thought he was supposed to give me like a camouflage thing so the animals don't see me coming. I was already wearing black and green, and now I'm wearing blue? Who cares? Is this really any better? Where'd you get this gun? Nishina-san dropped it off, actually. He doesn't want to lend you a rifle, but he wants you to go up there... But he wants you going up there unarmed even less. What? What's his deal, anyway? It's not your concern right now. So, are you gonna do what you said you'd do? And go to the mountain? Yep. I'm heading out. Get some deer meat if you can. You have to push them. You have to put them in your snow gear bag, as opposed to your regular inventory. This is complicated. Hunting hut 04 trap sites found 0 to 36 Jizo statues 0 to 12. I saw one of those, right? I guess now I can collect them. This is getting involved. Where are my items? Oh, there we go. Do I have it? What is this screen? Select list. What's the select list? I guess my gear is there? I thought this screen would be the gear screen, but there's like a lot of other stuff going on. I don't know. You know what? We shouldn't start this right now anyway.
Yeah.
I ain't ready yet. Alright. Yeah. Let's go to the HQ and save. Next episode, we will go on the big expedition. Because, freaking doing it for like 3 minutes is not gonna work out for me.